Hello and welcome. Today's sequence is all about improving our posture. Unfortunately, everyday life doesn't always place our bodies in the ideal position for good posture. More commonly, we're seeing hunched backs, rounded shoulders, and even a forward head position. The good news is, through consistent practice and body awareness, you can improve your posture. So let's go ahead and get started by standing for some poses that work on our body alignment. Feet are wide, arms extending out to the side. Pivot the right foot to face forward and the left foot to face the wall to your left. Start lunging into the left leg, descending through the left thigh, engaging through the right inner thigh, keeping the arms as parallel to the floor as you can, and gazing over your left shoulder. Keep the chest open, hips facing front. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Return back to standing, facing front. Give the arms a little break. Realign the feet, now pivoting the right foot toward the right wall, left foot facing front, arms extended. Exhale, lunging into the right thigh. Lowering through the right thigh, staying engaged and lifted through the left inner thigh. Gaze over the right shoulder. Chest open, hips aligned forward, shoulders aligned directly over the hips, and gently ease back to center. Let's repeat that, building on to the sequence. Pivoting the left foot to the left, right foot front, arms open. Exhale, lunging into the left leg, Warrior 2. Gaze over the left shoulder. Chest stays open. Next, we'll extend through the left leg, flip the palms to face forward, and start reaching to the left as far as you can, then opening the arms up and gaze up toward the right fingertips. For triangle pose, Trikonasana. Staying open through the chest and the hips, as if you're pinned between two walls. Keep pulling the right hip back. Now fire up the obliques on the right side and start lifting back up into Warrior 2. Lunging through the left leg, gaze over the left shoulder, and then return back to center. Realign the feet, give the arms a break. Repivot the right foot right, left foot front, arms extended. Exhale, lunge into the right thigh, maybe dropping a little bit deeper. Gaze over the right shoulder. And then start extending through the right leg, flip the palms front, reaching to your right as far as you can, opening up into triangle, Trikonasana. Gaze up toward the left fingertips, drawing that left side of the chest back, left hip back. Bringing awareness to the lengthening through the spine. Now reaching up out of triangle, palms down. Exhale, lunging into Warrior 2. And come back to the center. Realign the feet and pivot the left foot toward the left, right foot forward, arms extending. Exhale, lunging into Warrior 2. Gaze over the shoulder. Extending the left leg, palms forward. As you inhale, reach into triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale, lifting up out of triangle, wrap the right arm behind the back. Lunging into the left leg, bending the left elbow, directing the chest one direction and the left knee another. Reverse warrior. A nice counter stretch to the position we hold our bodies in throughout most of the day. Begin extending the left leg, arms open, reaching back into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Gaze up at the fingertip. Lifting up and lunging into the left leg, Warrior 2. Return back to center. Realign the feet. Let's repeat that on the other side. Pivoting the right foot right, left foot front, arms open. Dropping into Warrior 2, lunging through that right thigh. Extending the right leg, palms forward, reaching into triangle. Staying lifted and open. Reaching up through the left arm, wrap the left arm behind the lower back, bending through the right elbow, right thigh, and gazing up at the inside of the right elbow, lifting through the chest, but dropping through the right thigh. Reverse warrior. Open back up, extending the right leg, reaching into triangle, lifting up to center, lunging into the right thigh, warrior two. Return back to center, give the arms a little rest, and realign the feet if you found that they've gotten a little too wide. Right foot faces front, left foot left. Extend the arms, lunging into the left leg, warrior two. Extending the left leg, palms forward, reaching into triangle pose. And lifting up, wrap the right arm behind the back side, lunging into the left leg, bending the left elbow, reverse warrior. Now keeping the legs just like that, rest the left elbow onto the left thigh, extend the right arm over the head into one long diagonal line from the right fingertips to the outer edge of the right foot. Feel free to take that left arm away for an added core challenge if you'd like. And keeping the legs like that, return back to reverse warrior. Extend the left leg, arms open, reaching into triangle, Trikonasana. Fire up the right side of the obliques, arms open, lunging into warrior two. Return back to center. Realign, right foot to the right, left foot front, arms open, lunging into warrior two in the right thigh. Extending the leg, reaching into triangle, gazing up toward the left fingers, reaching up, wrapping the left arm behind the back side, lunging into reverse warrior. Keep the legs just like that. Right elbow rest on the thigh, left arm reaches, creating that long diagonal line. Take the right arm away if you'd like. This is optional. Keep the legs like that. Go ahead and come into reverse warrior. Same legs, just a different position for the upper body. Extending the right legs, arms reaching out, reach into triangle. Fire up the obliques, come all the way up, lunging into warrior two. And back to the center. Give the arms a little break, realign the feet. One last time through. Maybe noticing if you feel like you're going a little bit deeper into each pose, if you feel a little taller, lengthened, more aligned. Reaching into triangle, Trikonasana, lifting up, wrapping the right arm behind you, lunging into reverse warrior, extending the arm, extended side angle pose. Wrap the arm behind the back, reverse warrior, extending the legs and arms, reaching into triangle, lifting up out of triangle, nice deep lunge into warrior two. Return back to center. Shake out the arms, realign the feet, extending the arms, lunging into warrior two, extending the right leg, reach into triangle, lifting up from triangle, wrapping the left arm behind, opening up the chest, reverse warrior, resting the right elbow, reach the left arm, extended side angle, back to reverse warrior, extending the arms, legs, and reach into triangle, Trikonasana, lifting out of triangle, lunging into warrior two, return back to center. And you made it through the standing sequence. Let's give the legs a little counter stretch. Windshield wipering the knees inward. Now coming on to the hands and the knees. Cat-cow stretch. Dropping the belly, lifting the chest and the hips, and then rounding the spine, hanging the head. Finding that length and fluidity through the spine. return back to flat back, this time extending the left leg and the right arm. Extending both limbs in opposite directions, and then flex through the left foot as if you're pushing the left heel into the wall behind you. Settle the arm and leg back to the mat, extending the right leg and the left arm. Finding that length, flexing the right foot. And returning the hand and knee back to the mat. Next, coming into a kneeling upright position, extending the right leg out to the side, arms extended, reaching to the left. A little familiar here. Settling the left fingertips down, right fingertips behind the head, rotating the chest open, looking up. Now start bending the right knee, bringing that right foot in as close to the left inner thigh as you'd like for kneeling tree pose. Opening up through the right side of the chest. Extend the right leg, reaching the right arm back up, lifting back up out of it. Nice counter stretch to the right. Left arm reaches overhead. And back to center. Swing that right leg back around. Return back to your tabletop pose. Extended right leg, extending the left arm. Flexing the right foot, pushing the heel toward the back wall, finding that length through the spine, and returning that arm and leg back to the mat, this time extending the left leg and the right arm, flexing the left foot. Breathing through the pose, and return the arm and the leg back to the mat. Come back to kneeling upright, this time extending the left leg out to the side, arms extend, reaching to the right till the right fingertips or palm reach the mat, left fingertips behind the head, open the chest, and start bending the left knee. Like, pull that left foot in as close to the right inner thigh as you can. Kneeling tree pose. A little bit of balance here. Go ahead and extend the left leg. Reach the left arm up. Lifting up through the obliques, counter stretch to the left. Right arm reaches over the head. And next, coming down onto your belly. Sphinx pose. Prop up onto your elbows, pressing the palms into the ground, shoulders pressing away from the ears, and place a slight drop in the chin, encouraging the curve in your lower lumbar spine, which we tend to lose through poor posture. Press the hips back toward the heels for child's pose, balasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Then we'll come up to a seated position, sitting the hips onto the heels. You can always place a rolled up towel or blanket between the hips and the heels if this is a little harsh on the knees. Pressing the back of the hands into the lower spine. Drawing the elbows back while pressing the chest forward as if you're trying to get your elbows to touch behind your back. Continue pressing the backs of the hands along the lower spine, this time drawing the elbows forward as far as you can. It won't look like much is happening here, but you will feel a stretch across the lower neck and across the shoulder blades. Continue to keep the ears lined over the shoulders lined over the hips. Release the arms and interlace all the fingers just behind the base of the skull. Draw the elbows forward and gently draw the chin toward the chest as we lengthen the back of the neck. This area becomes shortened with daily life activities such as looking at our phones or sitting at a computer or even driving. Rest the arms down at your sides so we can practice some neck retractions. Drop the chin slightly and begin drawing the ears back as if you're trying to bring them behind the shoulders. Imagine trying to eliminate any curvature in the back of our neck. Gently release. Try to resist from allowing the head to go back into that forward position. Let's try that once more. Dropping the chin slightly and retracting the head back, ears aligned over the shoulders or slightly behind the shoulders. Imagine you're driving in your car, trying to touch the back of your head against the headrest. Now swing the legs out in front of you, sitting on your bottom into staff pose, Dandasana, with both legs extended, sitting up nice and tall. You can always set the hips up on a cushion here. Arms are resting at our sides, yet we're not pushing into the ground with the arms. Opening the legs to form a small V. Begin lifting the right leg slightly off the ground, moving it out to a wider V. And back in. And then we'll move the left leg out to a wider V. And back in. Now let's try that with a bit of a longer lever. Arms across the chest. Extending the right leg out. Bringing it back in. Left leg out. And left leg back in. For a more challenging version of this, you can extend both arms straight up overhead, creating a nice long lever. Bring the hands back to the chest. Repeat. Right leg out, right leg in, left leg out, left leg in, remaining lifted the entire time. Now return the hands to your sides. Right leg out, in, left leg out, and bring it back in. That can be a little tough on the hip flexors, so let's go into a counter stretch with our butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees open, and just round the back forward, hanging the head, gazing toward the feet. Rounding back up, come into cross-legged position. Reach the arms a little bit away from the spine, pointing the fingertips toward the back of the mat. Place some weight forward onto the lower legs and begin raising the hips, the belly, the chest into a reverse plank position. Placing the body in the opposite position that we ask of it throughout most of the day. Lower back down. Now switch which leg is in front, and we'll repeat that once more. Reverse plank, pressing the lower legs into the mat, fingertips pointing back behind you. You can let the head hang here. Contracting the whole back side and extending through the front of the spine. Lower the hips and a little windshield wiper with the legs. Come into a seated cross-legged position with a nice gentle twist to the right, reaching the left hand across onto the right knee, right arm behind your backside, lifting, lengthening, rotating, and gazing over the right side of the chest. Coming back to center for seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, rounding. And namaste. Thanks so much for joining me for this posture sequence. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit subscribe and click the notification bell to receive notification each time I post a new video.